By the end of this video, you should master how to play My Heart Will Always Go On. That song from Titanic. I'm sure somebody might have suggested it for you, or you might have heard it yourself and you liked it and you wanted to play it. In this video, you're going to master that song without the need for any sheet music, because I'm going to be giving you all the notes you're going to need right there on the board. And by the end of this video, we should be able to play together. So grab your instrument, let's get straight into it. Right, so before we do it, I'm going to play just a little piece of it for you and we're going to get straight into it right here. So let's go. We have... I'm going to go straight to the chorus. Right, and so on. Don't get scared, right? It's very easy once I show you what to do with the fingers and what to do given the notes you're going to be having on the board right here. So let's get straight into it. Right, so like you know, on this channel we don't just give you the notes and just ask you to play. We give you a little bit of theory, what you need to know as a musician behind each of the songs you're going to learn. So when you're learning another song, you could use the knowledge from this one, which is what we're going to do. So this song, like every other song we've learned on this channel, we learn it in the original key. So you could go on YouTube and type My Heart Will Always Go On instrumental, and it's going to give you the correct track key that you could use this note you're going to learn here to play along with. So we're learning it in the original key, and this is going to be E major, right? This is the key we're in. Right, so before we do it, let's do an E major scale. So for E major, we have our E, we have F sharp, we have G sharp, we have A, we have B, we have C sharp, we have D sharp, and then we have E. So these are the sharps you're going to have in our E major. If we're going back this way, we're going to put an apostrophe to that, showing that that's the higher E, differentiating from this one. So if we keep going, F sharp, we put apostrophes to this note just to differentiate them from the lower one. If we go this way, we're going to have our D sharp. We're going to put a comma to this one, showing that these are lower than this one right here. Just a way of differentiating them for you when we start doing it on the board. So let's do our E major scale, which is going to go from here to that E right there. The first thing I would want you to do with me. Right, so let's try that. So our first note is E, the first finger on the D, and next thing is the second finger, a raised second finger on the D, a raised third finger on the D for your G sharp right there. Open A string for now for that A. First finger B, second finger C sharp, third finger D sharp. You see we have space all between the fingers. Good, so let's do that E major scale together. We have good. Another thing is, instead of the open strings, you could use a fourth finger for those notes. So we have good, and if we keep going, we're gonna go, that's our E, F sharp, first finger, G sharp, second finger, then we have our A, third finger, very close to that G sharp in this case now, and then we have our B little finger. Good, so just get familiar with where we have this notes, where we have the sharps. If we're going back down, we're gonna have, this is our E, we're gonna have a raised fourth finger to do that D sharp. I want you to learn it that way because it's much more useful that way. So we have then D sharp, that D sharp, then we're going down, we're gonna have what before that D sharp? Right, we're gonna have our C sharp, the third finger, space between them, right, and so on. So one more time that scale and we're gonna get into learning the notes. So we have so before you try anything, make sure you're very comfortable with that. Now let's learn the notes of the song. Right, so here are the notes to the song. Do not get scared yet. I'm going to explain every bit of it, what you're going to be doing every step of the way. each of those sections you see right there, and we have some repetitions in it, so that should make it much easier. So having done our scale like we did, right, I'm going to try to bring this down. Usually your instrument should be up on that, so but I do not want to cover you, right? I'm going to bring this down to explain to you as well. So the first part of the song, that's the verse right there. This is that intro that goes right. So before we get to that, I would like to do the verse first, because this is used as an interlude as well, right? So we have our E's. Remember the rhythm of the song. If possible, go listen to the song again, because it's going to be very useful doing this. So we have one thing. Remember, when we have comma to that, that's the lower version of that note. So that D sharp is going to be that same first finger going back to play D sharp at the tip of the D string. So it's like first finger playing E and then going back for D sharp. Another comma there. If we have comma, just think lower notes. If we have apostrophes, like in this case, think higher notes, which I'm going to show you just now. So let's do that again. That first phrase there we have. Then F sharp space, G sharp space. Very good. Same thing again. We're going back. Good job. And that's B. High second finger on the G. Good. And that times 2 right there means we're gonna do the same thing twice, right? So having understood that, we're gonna move it on to the second part. So you're gonna do that twice. Take your time. You want to practice it slowly, following what I did, right, before you try to take up speed. So next part we have. Let me explain something there. For the other D sharp, I used that raised fourth finger on the G, like we did while we were doing the scale, because we're going down on string G, and it's much easier that way. Okay, so do it that exact way. And this means we're repeating this, we're repeating this. So for the second time, we're doing the same thing until this note right here. And then we divert to this. So it's like everything stays the same, and then we go on to that. So let's try that again. Say this is the second time we're doing it. We have. Right, and that's it for the verse. And after that, that interlude that I mentioned, come that Good. One thing you're gonna notice here is these notes have apostrophe, so these are on the higher set of strings, right? So this is gonna be on the E string, that E right there, and F sharp first finger on the E, G sharp second finger on the E. So we're going up. That B is high too. One more time. Good. So take your time on those ones. Then you're gonna repeat the same thing right there, and slight change right there. We're gonna go up a bit. Right. So after that, I'm gonna do that part again. We're gonna stretch, and then we'll go back. That's the only new thing you're gonna do. And then it goes back to the verse. Right, after that, we're going to learn this part, which is a slight change in key. If you've not subscribed, before we learn that part, it's very important to be a part of the channel so you do not miss contents like this. We have contents like this coming for you every week. So you want to give me a thumbs up first if this is helping you so far, so I know what to make for you. Leave a comment. That's very, very inspirational to me to know that I have to keep this up for you. So leave a comment and let me know how you feel about this one. Hit that subscribe button, and now let's get back into this. Good. So after it does the second verse, that interlude is going to come in again, and then there's a change of key, what we call modulation. So it's going to change from that E major that we've been on to an A flat major. So let's do an A flat major scale. We're going to go over the notes of an A flat major first, and then we're going to learn that part. So A flat, we're going to use our fourth finger close to the third finger on the D string first, and then we have our B flat, and then we have our C, we have our D flat very close, then we have our E flat, then we have our F, then we have our G, and then we have our A flat again. So that's the A flat major scale. Let's do that again. Should be able to do that backwards as well. That's your A major scale right there, and A flat major rather. And if you're going back down, we're gonna have that G with a comma, F with a comma, E flat, and so on. Okay, so in fact you could do an A flat major in 2 octaves as well. Good. So after that interlude right there, there's a modulation right there. So we're going to learn that part. I do it this way so that after you've practiced this, you could go online, you could just type YouTube, look for a karaoke of this or an instrumental of this, and start jamming and having fun right away. Most of other videos you're going to see on YouTube, most of the time they're going to change the key, put it in D major, a very simple key, or A major for you, and after you've practiced, say you cannot play to any other cool backing track to kind of liven it up a little bit. That's one difference with Toks Violin Academy here. So it's very important to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss stuff like this. Let's go on to this one. So we have, hope I'm not covering you. Let me try to make sure I'm not. This is very important to see what's going on. I'm going to bring this down. Usually instruments will be up like I mentioned, but I'm going to bring this down. We have the lower E flat, and then the normal E flat. And then there's a times 2 there, which means we're gonna go do the same thing again. And when we get to this part, similar thing we did right there, we're gonna do that. We have the second part now. Good. These 2 keys we have this song in, they're quite tricky, especially for complete beginner violinists, right? But we do it in this key, so next time when you're playing a song that has any of these keys, you're going to be much more experienced, right? Given that you've tried it with this one. The next thing you need to do if you're serious about the violin, if you're serious about playing popular songs, if you're serious about entertaining on this instrument, you need to build a solid repertoire of popular songs that you can always go to for events like wedding, playing for family members, just playing for yourself as well. Songs that do not change with time. I've made that easy for you. I've compiled 20 of the most popular songs. They're going to have notes like this. They're going to even have sheet music. You're going to have backing tracks, right? Slow backing tracks, and then normal speed play along. Play along, I mean, not backing tracks. Play along are going to play exactly the same notes for you just to help that practice process. So you're going to have all that. And also you're going to have some of the things I would add to it, like some slides to make it more fancy and more appealing to the ears. So you have all that available for you in the description. So I want you to go in the description right now and get on that. You're going to build a repertoire of 20 solid songs, right, that you can always have in your bag in case you need to play a popular song at any point in time. So go get on that, practice it slowly first, and watch any other video coming up on the screen, and I'm going to see you here in the next one. Go do the work.